Yesterday, I got asked who the vice president of the country was, and I had no idea. Now, I usually don't care to know about stuff like this, but not knowing this very specific thing bothered me. So, lately I've been trying to keep up with the news. Now, some people might say this isn't a good thing because, well, everything's always so negative. And yeah, I agree. But I also believe it's important to have a basic understanding of what's going on around you. So, this past few weeks, I've read probably the most amount of news I ever have in my entire life. This includes that one time that I read an article about what Zakumi, the 2010 FIFA World Cup mascot, was doing with his life. Turns out he's unemployed and back home in Limpopo. Damn. Now, I picked quite an interesting time to start paying attention to the news because we recently had elections and they were, well, interesting to say the least. After a masterclass display of the people's ability to come together behind a common cause, we got the results. And that's the end of that, right? Except no, it isn't. Because the previously dominant ANC no longer has the majority of seats in parliament, which means compromises must be made. Now, what exactly does this mean for us? Well, that's exactly what I wanted to find out, but reading news articles is boring. Believe me, I tried. What are the DA and EFF opposition parties? South Africans have been used to knowing the result of Saturday on the polling day, corruption allegations, and plans to redistribute land and use less popularity. And that's when the idea struck me to build a chatbot that will help me make sense of everything. So, what does it do and how does it work? A problem of mine both going into and coming out of the elections is that I don't know what these parties are proposing. This is information that's contained in their manifestos, but these aren't exactly the most riveting pieces of content to read, and in some cases are ridiculously long. This was my starting point, building a chatbot that'll summarize these manifestos for me. As I was working on this, I came across news about a GNU, standing for Government of National Unity, and boy are the news outlets mocking this thing. As you can imagine, I'm definitely not reading all those articles. Fortunately though, the GNU also has a manifesto, or in their case a statement of intent document, so I found a way to loop that into the app as well. The app works using a concept called RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Big words, but nothing to fret about. Here's a brief explanation. This is how the normal flow works when you use an LLM such as ChatGPT. You enter your prompt and the model responds. This is great for general cases, but we have a very specific use case in mind. Here's what that flow looks like. You enter your prompt, a search for relevant information is performed, and the result is fed into the LLM, which then uses it to generate a helpful response. And here we have it. I only included information about the top 5 parties because, well, anything below 10 seats doesn't seem all that significant. You click on the party's manifesto you want to chat with and can start your conversation from there. You can also view the document and select any other party from the navigation. Sometimes I work on projects like this without expecting much other than learning a few technical things. But this is one of the cases where it actually works, and I learned a lot more than I expected from it. You can try it out for yourself by visiting honorablemembergpt.com in your browser to become an informed citizen. If you made it this far into the video, consider subscribing. I plan on being a bit more frequent with my uploads. Thank you for your time.